Let's start today's practice coming right into plank pose. Take an inhale and plank, and as you exhale, start to bend your knees, lift your hips away from your hands, coming into downward facing dog, creating as much length in the spine as possible. And maybe you can pedal your feet, bending one knee deeply, reaching the opposite heel towards the floor, and then the other. Getting a little stretch in your calf muscles. And just work your way into a symmetrical downward facing dog from both sides. And keeping a nice little curve in your lower back as you press the floor away, sending your hips further back and up towards where the wall would meet the ceiling. Neck is long, jaw is relaxed. Creating nice space in your joints here, but also that spaciousness is creating space in your breath. Alleviating the body of tensions, dissolves tensions in our breath. So see if you can create this sense of spaciousness throughout your entire body. Holding here for a couple of breaths. If it felt good to keep the knees bent, feel free to do that. And slowly start to lower your knees down to the mat. Send your hips towards your heels halfway. Coming into half dog pose, arms are lengthened in front of you, bowing your chest. And walk your hands outside of your mat to the left on a 45-degree angle. Forehead faces the mat, taking a nice stretch to the entire right side of your body. Nice little lat stretch. And walk your hands back to center. Walk them outside of your mat to the right on that 45-degree angle. Arms are shoulder distance apart. And come back to center. Keep your hands where they are. And inhale, come forward into plank pose. Firm your thighs, lift your knees, and exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, start to walk your feet slowly up to meet your hands. Nice tight fold at your hip crease, release your neck. Get heavy on your heels. Start to tuck your tail under, firm your abs as you roll up through the spine vertebra by vertebra. Take your hands into prayer gesture at the center of your chest. Inhale, lift your arms forward and up. Sit back into chair pose. Turn your palms to face up, lifting your arms up as high as they can go with comfort in the shoulders. Exhale here. Inhale, come up to stand. Come onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels. Exhale, start to bend your knees, keep the heels lifting, and lower your heels down. Take an inhale and exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, sit low chair pose, Utkatasana. Lift your heels up high as you exhale. Inhale, coming up to stand, heels lifting. Exhale, lower the heels. Take your hands slowly down the midline to heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, sit low, Utkatasana chair. Heavy on the heels. Exhale, fold. Rebend your knees a little. Inhale, step your left leg back. Turn the heel towards the floor so both heels line up as you'd come into Warrior Two. And slide your right forearm onto your right thigh, lifting your chest, coming into Parsva Konasana, right angle. You can reach your top arm up, fingers to the sky, and stay there, or take whatever arm gesture feels good at the moment. Sliding the right fingertips to the floor if that feels good. And find your breath. Turn to face the bent knee, the front foot. Pivot your back toes in 45 degrees, and it feels good to bend and straighten the leg a few times, the front knee, coming into triangle pose. Place your hand either on your shin or a block outside of the shin or the floor if that's available to you, and then rotate the chest, the belly, the ribs open, stacking your shoulders, and avoiding any strain in your neck. So look wherever it feels good for the neck. Turn to face your front foot, bend the knee, pivot all 10 toes into fan pose so they're all facing the same direction. Take an inhale and exhale, fold over your legs, firm your thighs so the kneecaps lift, and hug the mat with all four corners of both feet. Take whatever arm gesture feels comfortable for you. You can turn your fingers to point away from you. Walk your hands back between your feet. Walk the fingers forward again, wrists under shoulders. Inhale, lift your head, your chest. Exhale, pivot to face the back foot. Bend that knee. Heel to heel alignment. Forearm comes to thigh. Lift your chest and rotate as you next inhale to face the side. Parsva Konasana, right angle pose. And take whatever gesture works for the top arm and the bottom arm. Fingers can come to the floor or stay on your forearm. Coming into triangle pose, lift your chest, turn your back toes in on that 45-degree angle, heel to heel alignment still, and maybe bend and straighten the front leg just a couple of times to ease into the stretch. Roll the top shoulder, ribs and chest open. Reach the top arm up. Look down at the floor, bend your front knee, fingertips to the floor, so coming back into fan pose. All 10 toes again, symmetrically facing the same direction. Working that anterior tilt of your pelvis, so think of the sitting bones lifting up to the ceiling, and take whatever arm gesture you'd like. You can take yogi toe lock or not. Elbows out to the side walls. Neck is long. And start to walk your wrists back under the shoulders, lift the head, the chest, rotate to face the front foot again, bend the knee, take an inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in, come forward into plank pose. Breathing out, lower the knees. Send your hips towards your heels so you can sit upright and lean into either side of your hips to swing your legs out in front. Scoot yourself forward, coming into Lord of the Fishes pose. Ardha Matsyendrasana, starting with the right knee bent, right foot outside of left thigh, left arm up, hook the elbow or the forearm around the right knee, lift your chest, take a breath in and exhale, twist. Inhale, come back to center. Coming into Gomukhasana pose, cow face, slide the left foot outside of the right hip. Even your sitting bones, stack your knees, and take whatever arm gesture suits you here. Fingers can stay behind hips, inhaling to a long spine, exhaling, hinging at the hip crease, retaining that long spine, and folding. Start to come out of the pose, lift your chest, fingers behind hips to unravel your legs, unwind them. This time bend your left knee and place the foot outside of the right thigh. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, hook the right elbow around the left knee or forearm, twisting to the left. Breathing in, long spine, breathing out, twist. Come back to center. Slide the right foot outside of the left hip so you're not sitting on the foot. Stack your knees as best as possible. And either keep your fingertips behind the hips or walk the fingertips forward. Try to retain a long spine. Relax your jaw and your face. Start to sit upright again, lean back, unwind your legs, Scoot forward, bend your knees, legs are still hip distance apart. Take an inhale and exhale, lower down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra for bridge pose. Slide your feet back so the heels are under your knees. Bend your elbows, press into the backs of your arms, fingertips point up, and inhale, lift your hips up. Visualize squeezing a block in between your thighs. Relax your glutes a little bit, activate them, but not 100%, aim for more like 40%. Keep a little curve in your cervical spine, back of your neck. Lift your heels up high and slowly lower down vertebra by vertebra. And separate your knees, drawing them in towards your armpits. And take yogi toe lock if that's available to you. So it's like a reclined forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Draw your arms into their sockets, work towards straightening the legs, which may never happen, and reach your sitting bones down towards the floor to work that anterior tilt. Start to release the feet. Give yourself a little hug, fingers around the shins, coming into Shavasana. Lengthen your legs, let them be wider than your hips, toes roll away from one another. Turn your palms to face up, settle into the mat. Relax the muscles of your face and your jaw. So this concludes today's practice. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. Have a beautiful day.